the strings louder.
Uh-oh, guys. So we are back from camping, back from selling the 240, back from doing all of those other things. And I guess it is time. Yeah, I sold the Integra 240, yeah. Yeah, you were here. You watched it drive away. But so anyhow, Ty, what are you doing? Are you NFL draft picking?
Yeah, I had my fantasy draft tonight.
Oh.
My second one. I'm on 2 weeks.
So there isn't going to be any nice cinematic shots tonight because Ty's...
I've been sitting here waiting for you since 7 o'clock.
Oh,
it's now 10 o'clock.
It's not 10 o'clock. All right, but so anyhow, me and David, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get this thing to start on the key because the alligator clip thing isn't very much fun, and it's kind of sketchy trying to start this thing. And my battery did not come in, so I ordered this really sweet. It's an excess power battery hold down thing. It's a billet thing. I ordered a D1200 battery that this thing goes in. Check this thing out. Look at that.
Don't get it mixed up with excess power either.
I don't know what the difference is, but they make really cool batteries. So I ordered this and the thing. So this came in, but the battery didn't come in. So the plan is have this really nice battery hold down thing. I don't know exactly where I'm going to mount it. I kind of want to get rid of my ghetto battery, but it's working for now. So we need to get this thing to wire the alternator, but we also need to get it to start on the key. So that's what we're going to work on. Dave, what is the first step?
The alternator isn't wired through the white wire.
Oh, do we need
to run battery?
Yeah, we need to run battery cables to those things, but we're going to get rid of the alligator clips. Alligator clip delete kit. So didn't make a whole lot of progress tonight, but we did get it so that the ignition and everything turns off, on and off with the key. The relay was being really weird. I don't know exactly what was happening. Maybe the relay is actually bad because it was basically just clicking. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So honestly, it might just be like the relay or something like that. But yeah, I did fix a fuel leak that I did have up here. I basically have like a little 90-degree fitting going straight down off of the little rail. And that goes to my fuel pressure sensor. That goes to the ECU. And basically it just kind of had a slow little drip on it. And so I went ahead and fixed that. So just did a couple little things. I got it fired up. And it's running really rich right now and running really weird. Me and Zach, we really didn't have a whole lot of time to mess with it that day that we were on the phone. And I didn't have any coolant or anything in it. And then later that night was when we did kind of the first drive when I put the coolant in it and the serpentine belt and all that stuff. So yeah, need to hook up an alternator and the power steering, and then we could probably do some more tuning stuff. So I'll see if I could get a hold of him or see if he has a little bit of time tomorrow to get on the phone with me and kind of play with it a little bit more. You know, be able to back it out and kind of mess with it like that. So I guess we'll continue tomorrow. Alright guys, so I didn't have a chance to go to the junkyard yesterday. It started raining and came back to the shop and pretty much really didn't work on the Supra. Basically just got started on some website stuff for some things that are kind of going on in the background. So hopefully you guys are Well, I guess you can't be excited about it because you don't know what it is. But get excited. Some things are happening. But anyhow, there's my battery finally came in. So this is, I ordered it, I don't know, it's probably 2 weeks ago, I guess. It was on back order. I thought it was going to be here last week, but you know, showed up about a week later. But this is an excess power battery. It's like an AGM. You know, it's completely sealed, but it's super heavy. I mean, this thing weighs like 35 pounds, but it's a big dog. It has like 725 cranking amps, and supposedly they're really good. I talked to the guys at like Batteries Plus, and they said excess power is kind of like Optima. One of the guys that worked at Optima, or something like that, he got mad at them because they started making them in Mexico and they got crappy. And then he went out and basically started his own company, and that is excess power. So supposedly, I don't know. I haven't really researched it or anything other than that. I just knew that these batteries are good. They sell this this nice billet aluminum battery tray hold down style thing, and I figured that would be really cool to kind of put somewhere in here. So as you can tell, we got this this grimy old F250 battery that's been kind of laying around the shop. Got that put in here, and so right now I need to go ahead and change some ends on this thing, and then hook that battery up. So, or figure out at least a spot to put it. Alright, so now I'm just trying to decide exactly where to mount this thing. Right here would be the easiest spot for me, just because I could actually get to the floor pan. I could drill holes and I could get underneath it, and I could actually reach the area. The gas tank's not in the way. Right here is kind of where I was planning on. I thought about putting it right where the factory subwoofer goes, because there already is a hole in the carpet right there. I could probably end up stretching it around this and have this thing just kind of sticking up, which that's not really like an ugly battery. It's kind of weird that it's white. If it was black, it'd be a lot cooler. But I was thinking right there in the center would be a good idea. Or the other thing is, since we do have the wiring harness out of the engine bay right there, instead of putting that in the panel, I thought about making like a cubby system, kind of like basically like a rear seat delete, like is similar to like a 350 or 370Z or something. I could put like a little subwoofer in there, you know, something like that. But that's how, you know, 350s, 370s are. Is they have like a little back seat delete style thing. So I kind of thought about doing something like that, just because I do not have a like a nice rear seat. I have one. I don't even know where it's at right now. But it's kind of gross. It stinks. It smells like rat poop, like rat pee and stuff still. I did wash it, and it is tan, so it's got a bunch of things kind of, I guess, going against it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this wiring harness up. This wiring harness that I got from the junkyard today won't work. The other one, I have another piece that will work though, and I am gonna be tapping in to a couple little things underneath there. Need to look up the pin out for it. So I don't know, just a bunch of random little things. I thought about the battery right in the center, or you know, right here, since you know I'm probably gonna be driving this thing not necessarily always by myself, but you know, a decent amount of times, I guess. And if I put this, it'll kind of help distribute a little bit more weight, I think. But yeah, those are just, I guess, all parts of the thought process. So I'm going to pull that thing out, put the initial charge on it, and start playing with the battery placement. Alright, so I did not make a whole lot of progress as far as like the wiring, battery mounting situation goes. Basically right there where that fuse box is, see there's that little speaker cover. Right behind that is actually where the seatbelt goes, and it has like the big seatbelt retractable ratcheting thing, and that is where that was going to go. So we might be able to get away with it. I'm going to do some more test fitting with some stuff tomorrow. But yeah, so that's an issue. The other thing is, I guess, the mounting location for the battery. Kind of putting it back there would be the easiest. I think putting it right here would be better for like weight distribution and stuff. But at that point, I would be basically building kind of like a backseat delete kit. And I would almost have it just kind of go flush all the way back. Maybe stepped a little bit and then kind of have it to where I could kind of fold it up. you know, especially when I have racing seats in here, I feel like I'm not really going to use the back seats at all. I mean, these things are really, really tiny to begin with. So yeah, I'll probably just end up deleting it, and then maybe I could put that wiring harness in there. I could also do, you know, like a windshield washer tank or something like that, put that back there. You know, just a couple other little things, maybe amplifier, maybe like a little subwoofer, because I am going to be deleting the stock radio and the stock, the stock amplifier, as well as the stock, where did it go? Subwoofer over there. So the other thing is the plug that I got at the junkyard today. I thought I was going to be able to plug into this orange plug right there. So that is like the, I think it's a 1II plug or something like that. And basically what that does is it does a lot of things with the gauge cluster. So coolant temp, tachometer. I'm not sure if it does fuel level or not. But just a couple little things that I do need to tie into the factory gauge cluster. For sure, I know that the speedometer, the tachometer, the coolant temp, and so I'm assuming the fuel level is probably in that too. So yeah, definitely those are things that I want to work in the factory cluster. With the ECU master, I do believe there is some extra inputs and outputs, and these are kind of like analog ins and analog outs. So basically, what I believe, I haven't looked into 110%, but I believe I could go in an ECU master and say, you know, this input right here is, you know, vehicle speed sensor, the vehicle speed sensor, and since I do have a CDO9 transmission, I cannot use, there is no speed pickup on there. I basically have to use like a wheel speed sensor or like an ABS sensor to pick up the wheel speed. So I'll be able to go in there and like tell it how many teeth and stuff like that, and then output it in like a different conversion for what the gauge cluster wants. Kind of same thing with a tach, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I did end up going and getting a little like an Android tablet, and that was going to be for my gauges, but I forgot to order the Bluetooth adapter module from ECU Master. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on order. So I'll actually be able to have some gauges in here, because that was kind of the plan, was just kind of have like a tablet or get like a app radio or something and just have the gauges on that. But I probably will end up doing maybe just like an actual hard mounted boost gauge, as well as maybe like an air fuel gauge. Just so, you know, those are kind of like the essential things to kind of see how everything's doing and make sure you're not over boosting, as well as, you know, not running lean. So versus just like assuming everything is okay. But yeah, that is, I guess that's going to be it for tonight, guys. I apologize, I didn't get a whole lot of stuff done. Oh, I tested the seat. I tested this this Bride Lomax seat. It is a replica, but it is the carbon Kevlar one, so it is like pretty baller. That was out of that Integra 240 that I just sold, and these seats were initially supposed to go in my Datsun, and I got them kind of in a trade deal a little while ago. And so those have always been planned for my Datsun, but I might end up just ordering the correct brackets. This is just a 240 bracket, just kind of loosely sitting on there with a 2x4 under it to kind of hold it up. But I do like the way that those sit in there. So you guys will have to kind of let me know. The other option for seats is like the Sparco RX100s. That's a really reasonable price seat. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what kind of seats that you'd kind of like to see in there. This one right here, it kind of has a weird lean to it. It's leaned back too far all the time, so you got that gangster lean, and it kind of feels like it's a little crooked in there. So, I mean, it's a good temporary seat, but I would definitely going to get something else in there. What else? I guess that's about it. I washed this thing today, and it's the first time I've ever washed it, so you know, shortly we will be finishing painting and doing all the stuff with that, basically after we get done with the Supra. But wheels are on the way, tires are on the way, and basically as soon as we figure out all the little things, kind of get the wiring and everything buttoned up, it'll be time for dyno. So plan is hopefully within the week I'd like to be on the dyno, but we'll see. You know, things always don't go as planned, and yeah, it starts and runs off the key though right now, so that's good, I guess. But that's about it for this video, guys. I'll see you guys later.